Good day to you. Today is Saturday, the second day of May 2025. It's been a very long time, it's been a long time, quite all right. And I, I apologize for those who would want to hear me speak you know, and I've been away for a long time. It's not my fault. I actually had some schedules that always kept me tired each day. And I had to always procrastinate. But today I decided I'm going to come live, no matter what. And I hope that from now I'll be live. I will always be around to really meet up with discussions and talk to you guys, especially those ones who are lovers of freedom, who are still with MAZI and Kanu, and those ones who are also still on the path of truth. This is Truth Channel Network. My name is Kalechi Ambrose, and of course, we are in another dispensation. And some of you might be wondering what's going on, but the truth about it is that a lot is going on the background. A lot is going on. But before we begin to look at the things that are going on, we must look at the things that have gone on, that have gone wrong and gone right, and most of the things happening at the background. But I um, always want to, search out for information and think about what's going on, try to understand what's going on, not speak very quickly, but look at it, things critically. On the 29th, yes, which is about 3 days ago, MAZI Kanu came to court, and we all saw what happened, what transpired in courts. And they are trying to bring up exhibits, as evidences for their allegations against MAZI Kanu. This is 4 years now, and plus, MAZI Kanu has been in detention. He's been locked up for 4 years plus right now, and you can imagine the ruggedness, the mental toughness, and the dexterity, the readiness for these kinds of times. MAZI Kanu has been mentally ready for this time. As much as we are very, really angry about MAZI Kanu being held up, we also know that he understood the implication of what freedom fighting is about, and he said it, that he's ready to sacrifice anything for his people. And now the sacrifice MAZI Kanu has, given this period, has shown and provided great results. We can tell that MAZI Kanu is actually winning this fight, and we can tell that truly we have a leader in MAZI Kanu. He is a leader. There's no disputing that fact. We know that the original template for Biafra is to decapitate everything that resembles means of freedom, for the people. The real intent of the Fulani Caliphate and the British, the British government controlling the Caliphate of Nigeria is to make sure that whatever that is that looks like a sign to the people gain freedom should be destroyed. And so, as soon as ESN was composed by MAZI Kanu and launched by MAZI Kanu in December 2020, and the mass, the mass search for MAZI Kanu, the rigorous search, the desperate search for him began, and which led to desperate moves, desperate actions, and desperate things to be done to try to get him. And suddenly he was caught, and through people who are within, Kenya. And then he was kidnapped, tortured, brutalized, and extraordinarily renditioned. Now we can also tell you that through this period of MAZI Kanu's travail, it has not been easy with him. It has not been easy with us also, who are, concerned about him. But here we are right now. MAZI Kanu is ready to be free in this May. And MAZI Kanu's freedom would rest so many things, would solve so many things. and will also cause many things to be revealed. And we are looking forward to all of these happening and all of this coming to pass. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu's freedom is, which is about coming very soon, this month of May, 2025. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu will be released, and a lot of things will be revealed, a lot of things will be seen, a lot of things will be experienced. And so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting month, I tell you. 2025 May is going to be an interesting month. Some of you who have allowed yourself to be cajoled and deceived and manipulated by people who claim to utilize MAZI Nnamdi, who claim to be for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, but what they are doing is trying to use his image and his prestige and his situation to cash in and cash out. Some of you didn't really understand what was going on, but there were so many signs for people who have wisdom, who have the knowledge and understanding. There were so many signs that that people, especially with the people who are actually going after MAZI Nnamdi Kanu and trying to use him as a means of cashing out. There were so many signs, and if you claim that you didn't know that people were manipulating you, when MAZI Nnamdi Kanu comes out and he begins to show the things and really make us see the things that have happened with his name and begin to tell us so many things, then most of you will begin to say, we didn't know that this is what is going on and all of that. But the truth about it is that there are signs everywhere, signs in the actions of people who claim to be fighting for freedom, signs in the actions of those who are telling you that they are for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. Signs everywhere. There are so obvious signs everywhere that an ordinary thinker should be able to reason through and understand what is going on. But as the manner of our people, as the manner of our behavior and actions are, we are desperate, but always mawkishly desperate. Mawkish in the sense that we are foolishly desperate. It's good to be desperate, but desperation should come with a context of intellectual grip of pardon, under the auspices of intellectual control. When your desperation is in the realm of the emotion, you will make mistakes. But when your desperation is in the realm of intellectual control and reasoning, then you find yourself doing things right. And that has been the lot of so many people who have found themselves in desperate situations, who have been robbed and who have been, stolen from, and deceived and manipulated by other people. But anyways, that's not what I've come to talk about today. But I want to really appreciate you for joining, please. And wherever you're watching from, please, I want you to share this on your social media platforms right now, because we're going to be looking at very important things that that people need to know, and that would also be very, very important in shaping and guiding us as MAZI Nnamdi Kanu comes out and things begin to work out. Please share this right now on your social media platforms, and also get people to join us so that we can watch. I know that I've not always been online, so most people have lost touch with my broadcasting and all of that, but I promise that from today I'll try as much as possible, even if it's not every day, but at least two times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a week, I'll come to say something. And now that we're preparing for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu's release, because MAZI Nnamdi Kanu will be released in this month of May 2025, I tell you that he will be released. Obviously we can see that the Nigerian government has nothing against him. The problem has been that they are afraid of his release. Most politicians want to go into stealing, go into lots of criminality. They want MAZI Nnamdi Kanu to be kept for a while so that they would be able to do what they want to do and to steal what they want to steal and to cash out the way they want to cash out and do the whole rubbish they want to do. Most politicians, anyways, who are not part of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu being incarcerated, or who were not part of those people who orchestrated the whole thing, also cashed into the situation of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, and also wanted him to be held so that they could steal, they could do what they want to do, and their tenure will go to an extent before we begin to talk about MAZI Nnamdi Kanu's release. And you can see the thieving or the stealing that has been going on in Nigeria. In fact, the government of Tinubu also has been holding on, not wanting MAZI Nnamdi Kanu to come out from the beginning or the inception of their tenure or their regime. They didn't want him to be out then because they want to really settle down to without being, followed up critically by someone who is always watching and letting the people understand what is happening. By now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have revealed so many things to us, concerning the government of Tinubu and all of that. But they know that if they release him when they came into government, they would have their government tormented, So they didn't want that torment to go with their government. And all they did is to keep him to the middle of their tenure. And now they are ready to release him. And knowing that they have stolen enough, they have siphoned enough, they have diverted so many, they have diverted the economy, for their own favor, to their favor, and so many things have gone wrong. Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are suffering. Yes, I call them Nigerians because they believe in a system. They voted for a system, even if what they voted for was not given. But as long as we came out and you voted, it simply means that you still believe in Nigeria, you still believe in Nigeria. So what you see is what you get, because whenever you vote for corruption, you will always get corruption overwhelm you and control you and take over you. So whatever you see yourself or whatever you are going through in Nigeria is tantamount to what you actually prayed for, what you actually paid for, what you actually endorsed by your vote. So you should understand that your vote is a buying receipt or a buying format. It purchases for you what you want. Sorry, please. So whenever you find yourself suffering, going through hell, going through troubles, going through horrible circumstances, they are formidable things that go with your decision. They are formidable to your decision. So that's what has happened. So now let's look at what happened in court. The last court case on the 29th of April. This April was my birthday. 8th of April was my birthday. I had a little celebration in the way I could, anyways. Not much, but just low key. And I took my time also to pray for Biafra, to pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I've always prayed for him, and I'm ready to work very, very closely in this time to see that I support his, works, and support him in every way for us to really have to pursue our freedom in the light of truth. Remember, anything outside truth are not part of it. But before I talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and some other things, I've seen so many things going on. There was a particular audio that was sent to me, talking about somebody who is saying that he needs $1 million to betray Biafra. I don't want to mention names, but I'm just so concerned about that kind of analogy. When it was sent to me, I was surprised to know that it is actually this person. Although I'm not surprised anyways, because human beings are human beings; they would always be humans. But my surprise is that he could actually make this public, come publicly to say such thing, that if he was telling someone, if you know who is going to give him $1 million to betray Biafra, and he's ready to take it because Biafrans are stupid and all of that. And I wonder who is more stupid, because you who believe, you who can see the stupidity of Biafrans, reacting or getting angry that Biafrans are angry, and then demanding to get $1 million, to betray the cause because the people are stupid. Who is more stupid? Because your stupidity is double fold. Now the people are stupid and they are doing the things that stupid people do, and you believe that they are stupid, and you believe you are not stupid, and you're asking for money to betray the cause that everybody is fighting for. That would actually have made even the stupid person to begin to realize how stupid they have been. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been in this thing and has seen the stupidity of people, has seen the behavior of our people, has seen the rebellion of our people, the betrayal of our people. He has seen so many evil and circumstances that has caused the debilitation of the whole process of freedom. Yet he is standing strong, defending, because he knows that what makes the people gullible, stupid, and all of that is because when people are under slavery, when people are held down, against their will, when people are kept in a place of lockdown, or a place of slavery, they tend to lose their minds because they would not think the way they are supposed to think. They will not reason the way they are going to reason. Most of them will be talking or thinking of survival. Most of them can do anything to survive. Most of them can even betray themselves to survive. So you who is able to see the stupidity of those people who are actually enslaved, you are supposed to be in you are supposed to be in the position to have compassion on them and begin to do the right thing to get them saved and understand. I was looking at a particular news yesterday, and it was shocking. I think it was I saw it on Washington Post or something, and that news was shocking. Now here is a woman who is, in a property that is on fire, a building, and the building is on fire or was on fire, and then this fire serviceman with other people were working to see that the fire is, extinguished. And this fire serviceman rushed in and was able to save this woman and took her, into the ambulance. And he was sitting at the back of the ambulance taking the woman to the hospital. And the woman stood up and stabbed him and killed him. Now look at the one who has saved the woman who is in trouble and who is in the fire. She stands up, gets up, stabs the one who has actually risked his life to save her. Now, what do you call that? Now, these are things that you find with people who are in situation that is eating them up. You can't understand what has come over that woman. Maybe the fire experience and the shock and all of that has actually affected her mood and her mindset, so that she no more could reason properly, and she felt danger all around her. And the only thing to do to help herself at that point in time that came into her mind instinctively somehow was to just attack the next person, not knowing what that person represents in their life. So when people have been in slavery for a long time, they tend to be porous in their thinking. So you who think you are in wisdom, or you who think that you are wise and have seen the stupidity of the people, is supposed to be in a position to help the people out of it, not demand for $1 million to try to, as a means of betraying the people you think are stupid. What makes them stupid, or what makes them stupid? What have you seen in them that makes them stupid? Whatever you have seen in them that makes them stupid is one of the signs of slavery. No normal person, no normal person would want to sell themselves to their slave masters. No normal person would want to take bribe to put themselves continually in situations. When I traveled to Biafra land, which I returned recently, and I heard the news of how people are even given 500 naira, or some cups of rice or some stuff to vote, and how they are manipulating our people in the communities. I begin to wonder what really is happening to our people. I begin to wonder what really is happening to our people. How can what is 500 naira that someone would take to sell their own birthright, to give themselves out over to the politicians to steal from them for years, millions and millions every day? What is 500 naira? But people do it. Do you think they are normal? They are not normal. But if I get angry to say these people are not normal, and I begin to also do worse things than what they are doing, then it simply means that I am worse off and I'm stupid. So that voice message that was sent of one of our Biafran brother saying that he needs $1 million to betray Biafra is unfortunate. It's a very unfortunate audio, and it tells you the mindset of this particular person, and that it has always been about money, and they have been looking for the opportunity. So it's not because they love Biafra, but because they see, I think this same person was the person who went to tell one of our people also, one of our ladies, to take me to Juju, to go and do Juju against me. This same person was the one who did that. And the lady was confessing to me and told me that this was the person who told her to go and do Juju against me. And I was laughing. You go and do Juju against me, it will backfire. It will definitely come to you. And so when this kinds of confession, talking about $1 million, it's exposing him in this Biafra, what he wanted to work against me, that he told somebody. When you come against a righteous person, I'm not saying I'm righteous in the sense of my self-righteousness, no, but because in my heart, God knows my heart is pure. I'm a sinner as every other person, but God knows when it comes to Biafra freedom and cause, my heart is pure. And so those who go around trying to use juju against me and do lots of things against me end up getting into trouble. They end up getting into trouble. Today I have heard lots of stories and lots of things happening, and more things are going to happen to those who think that they are going to go against me spiritually. You don't go against one who is in the cause of Chukokike. whose conscience is clear. You don't go against the person and think you will be. You don't go into witchcraft or into wickedness against that person. You can disagree with what I say. You can disagree with me. We can argue about things. But when you want to go into wickedness or into bewitching or trying to kill me or trying to maim me spiritually, at that point in time, that's when you get into trouble. And so the lady went to do some stuff in Juju, ROC, and all of that. And then later the thing backfired. And she came to tell me that this same person who is talking about Biafrans should give anybody, if this particular person knows where he can get $1 million for him to betray Biafra, because Biafrans are stupid. This same person was the person who was advising the lady to actually go and do that thing against me in ROC. And she went and she did it and nothing happened. And she was telling me that it was actually that she regretted what she did. That it was actually this person whose voice is everywhere now, telling Biafrans that he needs $1 million to betray Biafra cause. It's actually this person. If you have not heard the voice message, just go to one of these Biafra groups. You'll see the voice messages everywhere where he's saying that once he's given $1 million, he's going to betray Biafra because Biafrans are stupid. Now, who is more stupid? Now, he's disgracing himself. He has exposed himself because you must be exposed. You can't come against me. I believe that what he did against me is what is exposing him. I believe that. Because, I am, oh Lord have mercy. God help us. So, anyways, that is why you have to be careful with people. You have to be careful. The people you believe in, the people you follow, the people you actually work with in anything you're doing. You must be very, very careful because the times are evil. Now, let me tell you this. MAZI NNAMDI KANU is coming out this May and things would now fall in place. Biafrans will begin to now know who is on the right path, who is stealing from the people, and who had good intentions. Now, for the fact that someone is shouting Biafra, 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 or he has a militia that is going around killing people in Biafra land or making noise in Biafra land, doesn't mean they're actually on the path of truth. No, doesn't mean. Because even in Sudan today, the what they call them, rapid response or something, or rescue force or something, the RSF or whatever they call them, RSF, right? Yes, RSF or so. They are also fighting, and they are fighting, claiming they are fighting for the liberation of Sudan. Claiming that the government of Sudan is corrupt. The same government they worked with to oust, to fight initially. Now they are fighting that government, saying that government is corrupt. They want to come into power, and they are killing their own people. Now they are saying they are liberating their people, but they are being their people. Now, as at yesterday, I heard that over 100 people were killed. Over 100 people were killed by that. Someone is screaming Biafra, talking and making so much noise on social media, many things. And now I want to ask these people who are talking about them. They have gained Biafra. They have got down and Biafra independence, and they have declared Biafra's independence. I want to ask those people who follow those kinds of people who are busy. First, they said they had destroyed IPOB. IPOB is no more, and they call it IPOB Nigeria, but in actual sense, there's nothing like IPOB Nigeria. First, they said they have destroyed IPOB. IPOB is nothing again, and now it is now the Biafra government. And MAZI NNAMDI KANU is in detention because of IPOB. And MAZI NNAMDI KANU is still talking about IPOB. MAZI NNAMDI KANU is actually saying that IPOB is a family, and he pronounces and lays out the rules and the standards of the family. He still talks about IPOB. He still says that IPOB is under his control, and IPOB is a good family and family for the good of the people. And yet somebody else is saying that he's following MAZI NNAMDI KANU, and he's telling you that IPOB is already gone, is dead, and IPOB is no more. Rather, it is his own government that is in existence. And it doesn't tell you who is a common thinker, or who claims to be following MAZI NNAMDI KANU, who claim to understand what truth is and could understand or know what truth is and what lies is. It couldn't tell you that this person is actually working against MAZI NNAMDI KANU, or because you think that the person is talking Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. Now, calling Biafra does not mean that you are doing something right for Biafrans. No, that's not what it means. Now, when I traveled to Biafra land, I came back with Okwa. I came back with Okwa. I came back with many of them, and I had to fry some hours ago. And it's interesting going to your land. Um, so now, let me just put this one in my mouth. Yeah, Okwa is very nice. I like it fried. Some people like it roast and cooked. And all of that, but I like it fried. Mm, yeah, very nice. Like a Biafran, you eat these things. And you enjoy your land. When I went to Biafra land, I actually went to farm. I did lots of farming. I planted cassava, I planted groundnut, I planted egusi, I planted orange. I mean, sorry, mango, udara. I planted plantain and banana. I planted so many things myself as the son of the soil. Now, let me go on now. Right now, MAZI KANU is going to be released very soon. Now, there is something that is very challenging to Nigeria government right now. Very, very, very challenging. Now, remember, the reason why MAZI KANU was captured and kidnapped or captured or kidnapped and tortured and brought back, and the reason why they brought him back was because they were confused about killing him. You should get this. If you don't know, just know this. The original plan is to kill him. But the worry was that if he is killed, it's going to create chaos. Because they have heard so many things about how MAZI KANU has mandated us to burn down Nigeria, whatever happens to him. And if the tension became so high when he was kidnapped, then how much more will it be when he's killed? So Malami, who was the former Attorney General, and Buhari's government and all of that, were struggling with the idea of killing MAZI KANU. So, but you should know that it is Chukwuokike that actually kept him, because when wicked people want to carry out what they want to carry out, they carry out without thinking. They don't reason. All they think is they will always want to use force. They would always believe that they will use force to quell every other thing. But MAZI KANU was sustained by Chukwuokike and all of that. Now, remember that when MAZI KANU was in detention, so many things, was free before he was kidnapped in Kenya. He said so many things. He talked about Buhari being dead, and which of course we still stand on, and we believe that Buhari is dead, and which the Nigerian government cannot sue him for. Neither can they, and do anything against him, bring it even close to the court case. The idea of Buhari being dead is not part of the cases against him. Now, does that not tell you that something's being hurting? Now, if you look at it critically also, you will discover that they are trying to be very careful with the things they bring against MAZI KANU. And they have taken their time this period to talk with him, to engage him in discussions, to make sure that they get him to compromise and to get him, to be on the same note with them, so that when they are releasing him, he would not be too brutal on them and too hard, and not to say some things that are major secrets that he knows about what is going on in the contraption in Nigeria. Please, one moment, let me put on the phone. All right, I'm back here. Yes. So, don't mind this, my rolling chair. So now, the reason why the government tend to be very, very careful about MAZI KANU is because they know the implication of whatever they do to him. One, the things he knows about the contraption in Nigeria. Two, the people behind him, how ready we are and formidable we are. And they know all of this stuff. And so they're careful. Now, one huge challenge that is facing them now, which is glaring them in the face, is the challenge of releasing MAZI KANU. The challenge of releasing him. Now, most of you might be wondering why MAZI KANU has been kept so long in detention. He's not being kept so long in detention because because they don't know that they should release him, or because they want to keep him there. No, he has been kept there for long because they are struggling with how to conclude his matter. Just freeing him, because most of the discussions they've had with him, he never seemed to budge. He's not compromising. He's not giving up on what he believes. He is not trying to talk with them on terms they like. He is not at all concerned about anything that has to do with, supporting Nigeria or anything. No. He is standing strong on what he believes. He is standing strong on Biafra. So whatever negotiations and political understanding they will come to agree on is always going to be difficult, because everything that MAZI NNAMDI KANU stands for, anything that MAZI NNAMDI KANU stands for is anti-Nigeria. It's contrary to Nigeria, because everything Nigeria stands for is against Biafra. It's against freedom. It's against common sense. So if MAZI NNAMDI KANU is saying that he wants referendum, Nigeria does not represent referendum. Nigeria does not stand for referendum. If MAZI NNAMDI KANU said he wants, the people to go their different ways, and every nation having their own control, that is what Nigeria stands for. That is not what Nigeria stands for. So everything that MAZI NNAMDI KANU represents is against what Nigeria represents. So it is they have to make difficult discussions. And the most difficult thing right now, in spite of the differences, in spite of the fact that it is very difficult to harmonize with MAZI NNAMDI KANU, because they are not on the same page with him. And in spite of that, the most difficult thing facing them now is releasing him without even having a concrete agreement on ground. Remember what happened in 2017 when MAZI NNAMDI KANU was released? The grounds were so difficult. In the end, they had to take shorty, they had to take some money, and they told him not to gather people, not to gather more than how many people at a time, and to talk in a large crowd, blah, blah, so many things, so many restrictions. But when he came out, he actually stood for what he represented. You understand? Somebody's asking what happened to all my followers. Did I tell you that I'm here to gather followers? I don't know how you guys reason. You see, the problem about Biafra is that you guys reason too small. You guys are mentally deranged. You are low in thinking. You think it's about followers. I'm communicating. And I've not been online for a while, so you don't expect people to come here to listen. But people will listen later. I've been away from online for a long time. For a long time, I've not done a broadcast. So all I'm doing is publish what I have to publish and have the little people who are going to listen to it. And as much as time goes on, people are going to listen to it. I'm not here to make followers, for God's sake. I'm not the leader of Biafra. My job is to give Biafrans the truth and to support MAZI NNAMDI KANU. That's all. I'm not here to look at all your followers. The problem with you people is that you are always followers. You are always wanting to be followers. And that's why you keep following the wrong people. Because anybody who comes and talks tough, you want to follow. Anybody who comes and makes noise, you want to follow. Anybody look at Ngozi Orabueze, who showed up just yesterday and who was looking for Simon's number and who was desperate to meet with Simon and started using money, donating and all of that to attract Simon. And Simon, when we were thinking that Simon was on the path of truth, look at Ngozi Orabueze. Suddenly, she is now the Prime Minister. Oh, I'm not insulting. Sorry, I'm not. Sorry. Oh, if I insulted, I'm sorry about that. I didn't really intend insulting. Or maybe is there any word I use that is insulting? Okay, mentally deranged. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. I'm just making a general statement, not definitely about you. But you see, the word follower, where are your followers? Asking me about my followers. I don't know. It's like you're trying to mock my work here, and trying to tell me that, hey, you see, you have no people listening to you, you have no followers. And I'm not here for followership. I'm here, to gather followership. I'm here to communicate to people, to let people know what we should stand for, to let people know the right thing to be done. I don't have the template. I'm not the one who's running the program of Biafra. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is actually running the program of Biafra. And although I have ideas on how we can get our freedom, very neat ideas, but all I need to do is to submit to authority, because I'm not fighting to be a leader or to be in authority or to control anything. I'm fighting to make sure that the leader comes out and then submit my ideas and other things to him and see how we can move forward together. It's not about me, it's not about show, and it's not about who is in front. It's about who and what we have as a people to come together. I have my other things that I'm going to do for Biafra, my own contributions and all of that, ideas I've put together, which I'm working on right now, and to see that as time goes on, we're able to have that kind of thing to help support Biafrans and to help support the economy of Biafra, so help support the people and all of that. So I'm not here for followership, please. Get that. I am just here to communicate, and those who will listen as time goes on. Maybe as I keep, what I'll try to do now, so that people will now begin to know that I will always come online, I'll try to make sure that I always come online, to talk to people, and so that people can be expecting me always. I've not spoken for months now, I think so. So that's just it. So now, as I was saying, because they are finding it hard to reach a consensus with MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, because everything MAZI Nnamdi Kanu stands for is different from what Nigeria stands for. You can't compare these two. And how do you negotiate in this kind of situation? If it were the case of Russia and NATO, that's a different case, because of course you are threatening Russia's boundaries, boundaries and borders, by coming into Ukraine, because Ukraine is a very has close proximity to Russia. So if you come to lay your weapons or your armory in Ukraine, it is easier for you to attack Russia. So that was why Russia is standing and saying, no, you can't have your camp in Ukraine, because you can easily shoot us. Just like the other time, America was trying to have its and Russia was trying to have its base on Cuba. America stood strongly and said, no, it can happen. And the Russians had to leave, So it is like that internationally. That is why Russia is standing strong and saying, no, we can't accept it. We can't have you come close to us under Ukraine, so that you can easily shoot us or nuke us. We can't have you in that kind of situation. So that's why they are making sure they take over Odessa and other parts of Ukraine, so that they'll be able to secure the waters and other parts of Ukraine where they can easily be attacked from. But this time around, it is freedom. It is a nation that is being stolen from, that its resources, over 50% of its resources goes to the colonial masters. And then what we get is not even up to 10% for ourselves. What the Biafra nation gets from from all the resources being taken from it, it's not up to 10%. The colonial masters steal the chunk of it, then the politicians steal more and all of that, and then it's left with nothing. And so we are saying we want to be free, so that we can enjoy the benefits of what God has given to us, and to enjoy a leadership style that befits us, and to be able to monitor our government, to monitor our success, our progress, and the things that we do as a people, and be able to put down and lay down concrete plan and programs for development. We want to lay down a good, formidable path for the people or the generations to come. And Nigeria does not represent that. So to make a decision with MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is difficult, or to reach an agreement with him is difficult. It's taken a very long time. So finding MAZI Nnamdi Kanu in DSS custody and all of that, all this while for 4 years plus, it is about discussions and trying to break him and to make him weak and weaker and weaker, keeping him longer in detention to weaken his spirit and weaken him and see whether he's going to compromise. And they have tried it for 4 years, longer than what he had in 2015, and they have discovered that it is not working on him. And now they have seen that whatever happens to him now, it's going to get worse, because they have seen that keeping him alone is creating tension in the polity. So, but they thought that keeping him very long or keeping him a long time would break his mind and make him okay, begin to think of compromise because he wants to go back to see his wife, he wants to see his children or his child, he wants to have his freedom. His mom and dad are dead. He wants to go and see the grave site of his parents. He wants to just have freedom. He would now desire freedom. They feel and believe that now he will be broken, but he's getting tougher by the day. So it simply means that keeping him is dangerous for them because when anything happens to him, it is going to create more tension and destroy Nigeria contraption will be ungovernable. The contraption would be ungovernable. That's the truth. So because of this, they are trying as much as possible to see how they can come to a decision on trying to reach an agreement that would, even if cannot be really, effective in that way, but would at least help them to sustain their government until they are done with their tenure and run away. So the biggest thing staring them on the face right now is the release of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, because after the release of MAZI NNAMDI KANU, the story, the narrative will change. It won't be as usual because now MAZI NNAMDI KANU is the uniting element. Let me use that word, element. The uniting force of the nation of Biafra. Look at what's happening at Ibanke now. Look at, do you guys know the story of what's happening there? People are beginning to understand their identity. Look at Ikwere people. Look at people are beginning to come to terms with. I think God really brought Tinubu to actually push people to begin to think in the midst of their inability to think, because Nigeria's situation has put people in serious chaotic or confused states, confused about themselves. So they are in that state of confusion, self-confusion, and they are confused about who they are, their personality, and all of that. And so they are now, they now reason porously. They now do things out of point and out of place. Now they have to come to terms with themselves, because the more they are plunged into difficulty by the Tinubu government, the more they now have to look for where they are going to find solace. They have to look for their identity. Those who have been quiet and pretending now are now coming out to say, yes, we are so people. We are so people. We are Igbos. We are Kaibos. The Banke people are saying they're Kaibos and all of that. And it's interesting. But MAZI NNAMDI KANU coming out would help us now have a very focused leadership, because now he has gained much experience. He has come to understand who and what is happening in and out around him. He is now formidably knowledgeable about what to do and how to do them better. And that is what is going on right now with MAZI NNAMDI KANU. And thank God for this time. And I tell you that it's going to be interesting. Now you now begin to see those who have betrayed MAZI NNAMDI KANU. He's going to come out this May, and I assure you that we all would be so happy about it. And I want you to keep praying for him, not just sitting down waiting for the courts, but let's us all put the courts in perspective. Let us determine what they do by our prayers. Let us determine what they do by our decision. I know you and Emeka Lemisto were genuine during that time with Simon Ekpa, but that woman, Ngozi Orabueze, was the problem. Ngozi Orabueze was the one who brought the issue between us and Simon, and Ngozi Orabueze was the one who exposed to me and to us, who now exposed Simon's real intentions. First of all, we had a Mazuka when the monies of the account were being put in Azuka's husband's account. We still were going on. We were just okay, maybe the monies will be used for what we said, since they said, let's just see if when the time comes, after the countdown, and then nothing is done, then we'll know what to do. And then we discovered the countdown came, and then suddenly Ngozi came up. And when I now was able to discover the Nigeria government link, through Ngozi Orabueze, and I now made Simon understand that Ngozi Orabueze is a Nigerian agent, gave him evidences, and rather than him, applauding or discussing and saying, okay, let's see how we're going to deal with this matter. He now came online and called us criminals. So that alone exposed the fact that it's not genuine. It's actually the monies that Ngozi was bringing. So that was why I stood against Simon and said that Simon is not genuine. Because you can't see people who are coming out doing the right thing and saying the right thing and trying to make you see and protect your interest also, knowing that we all are for MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. And then the people begin to bring evidences of the things that are working against it, or some people in your midst, or in our midst, who are trying to penetrate us. And then you now call those ones who are trying to expose those people who are trying to penetrate the freedom, you call them criminals. And then suddenly you now begin to dismantle everything that has to do with MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is no more of interest to you. You dismantle his IPOB, in quote, dismantle it in quote, because you can't dismantle IPOB anyways, unless MAZI Nnamdi Kanu himself comes out to do that. You didn't create IPOB. How come you are now the one coming to tell us when the person who is the leader is in detention? And the person who is the leader in detention, you also said you are working for and working under, is in detention, and then you are making yourself a prime minister, and then you are creating your own group or whatever government and calling yourself a prime minister, and then doing everything, taking decisions on your own and doing whatever you want to do, and bringing up something you call currency, bringing up so many different things, bringing up things you call constitution and all of that, and doing lots of things when the leader is locked up. So these are the things, anyways. Ngozi Orabueze had been a major. I would say Ngozi Orabueze is the problem. I would say Ngozi Orabueze, being a Nigeria agent, was used to expose the hidden things that we were suspicious of, but were not really sure of. When the issue of the monies, the contributions of the people were being put in Azuka's husband's account, and from there, Simon and Azuka could determine what they want to do, nobody knowing what the monies were being used for. When those things were happening, we were suspecting some stuff, but we were still saying, okay, let's keep working. As long as they said they're going to do this, they're going to do that on the day and to stop the election, and they have gotten this and that, and they are using the monies for buying so things and all of that. As long as they said they are doing the things, okay, let's just leave them. And whenever we are done with all of that and we're able to stop the election, then after that we'll now sit down and look at the accounts properly, what came in and what was utilized. That was the agreement. That was why I calmed down. When the media team tried to convince me about the whole thing, because we were directly working under Simon, and we were supposed to be knowing what was going on with the finances, including the Umuada too. And when the Umuada came to report to me that the monies were not being, they themselves don't even know what is happening. It was only Azuka that knew what was happening with the monies. That was when I raised the alarm, and everybody was telling me to calm down. Let's not create any tension. Let's just allow things go, and let's allow the stopping the election program happen. And after that, we can now look at it. And the election was not stopped. Monies are still being collected. Nobody knows where the monies are going. Nobody knows what they're utilized for. No account is given. Suddenly Ngozi comes in, and then again, from then, Ngozi now being the agent of Nigeria, and with the proofs that I had, sending them to Simon and showing them to him, he was supposed to, a genuine person naturally will come up, the spirit of that person will come up strongly when you see some stuff like that. I remember when we started the accountability and transparency group, when some attitude began to come up that were against what we actually agreed, against the agreement that there will be no leader, and against the agreement that everybody will be involved in decision making. When few people wanted to start taking decisions, and people started talking about they wanting to install a leader, I said, no, that's not the agreement. And that was what I stood against, that everybody now ran away. And before you know it, the accountability and transparency group now, went haywire. Everybody went their own way. And rather than go and think and say, what this person is doing is actually true. We are going against what we agreed. We are going against what we said we are going to do. Instead, they left, and all they are doing is gossip. I don't know what they're gossiping. Both the ones that that are feeling threatened that maybe what you have told them, what they have told you, you have told somebody else. They also now begin to come out to try to destroy your name and all of that. I'm not that person who gossips and all of that. There's a particular lady in the midst of the Umwada and accountability group also, that we were very close and all of that. And when she was beginning to play all those double standard games, being hypocritical, she would say some stuff. She doesn't want to come out and say she's the one who said it, or she's the one who actually exposed it or brought these issues out. She wants to hide it, let them not say she's the one who said it. Whereas those things are true, but she doesn't want. She was playing to double standards and all of that. And she was close to me. We're very close, very close. In fact, I don't want to go further than just saying we're close, and all of that. And we suddenly, I now decided to cut off, got angry and started reacting to her, angrily, because of that kind of behavior. Because I believe if you want to come out for something like freedom fighting, for God's sake, come with a genuine heart and behavior. Come with a genuine spirit. What are you looking for? Be genuine, for God's sake. That's what freedom fighting is about. You are talking about the destinies of people, and you are coming to play games with it. And when she saw that I was, and all of that, and then now, when accountability group, now everybody began. Few people are still there anyways, but we are no more doing things like we're supposed to do. When that happened, and they left, she also began to think that maybe I have begun to tell people about the things she has told me, or the things about us, So she now began to go around to try to destroy my name, and the people she's talking to are still giving me information about that, and I just smile. I don't go around destroying people's image because we met in Biafra Freedom and we're thinking of freedom. The other time I sent messages to, I now sent a message to her one time. I said, let's settle our differences. We didn't come to Biafra Freedom. You see, I'm a peacemaker. Even if people who offend me, I still send them messages. People who wanted to destroy accountability group, who wanted to do the wrong thing, who offended me, who laid allegations and allegations, I still sent them messages that let's come together, let's sort these things. We cannot, because of Biafra Freedom, begin to quarrel or fight. For how many years now? For 1 year plus, we are in this loggerhead stuff. We don't talk to one another. And they thought it was a trophy for them. Rather, what they did was to start using it to gossip. He sent us message. He sent me message. He was telling me that let's settle. He was telling me that this blah blah. And as I now understood the weakness of the minds of our people. Our people are weak mentally. Our people are very weak mentally. Honestly, our people are very weak mentally. Our people just are very, very low in their thinking. So when somebody sends you a message of reconciliation, you think the person is weak, or the person is man. Well, that's one of those stories, anyways. But it's because of this Evelyn's. Is it Evelyn? Is this Evelyn? Yes, Evelyn. Is this Evelyn's message that I had to say all of this stuff right now? Now, as I was saying, it is not easy for Nigeria government to release MAZI and NNAMDI KANU, but that is what they have to do. They will do it this month. And it's the biggest decision they have to take. Because after what happened in 2017, when they freed him under the auspices of some rules and all of that, they saw that he couldn't keep to them. Because you can't restrict a man who is on the mission. You can't restrict a man who is on the mission. They know that freeing him now also, they can't restrict a man who is on the mission. His people are waiting for him. Every one of us, like somebody like me, we are waiting for him. His people are waiting for him, and his people are going to also. His people are insisting on freedom. He also insists on freedom. He said that nothing will make him disappoint us. Instead, we will disappoint him. We have shown him enough disappointments, but we are bouncing back to learn from the mistakes. Just like when Christ told Peter and said, "You're going to disappoint me." How many of you remember that? That is, you're going to deny me. You're going to disappoint me. It's the same thing MAZI and NNAMDI KANU said. You're going to disappoint me. I'm not going to disappoint you. So also Jesus said to Peter, you're going to disappoint me. You're going to deny me. And truly, Peter denied. But later, Peter bounced back and reconciled. So most of you who have disappointed MAZI and NNAMDI KANU by following criminals and following those who are misleading you and deny, and you are expected to bounce back. It shouldn't bring you down. It shouldn't make you lose your mind. Oh, wow, I made a mistake. I made a shit out of it. No, it should make you begin to think now it's time to bounce back. It's a very difficult decision Nigeria government is making right now. It's confronting them. They can't do without it. It's a decision they must make. They will free him. They have no choice because they know keeping him is worse for them. Freeing him is terrible also for them. So it's just like being between the um, how do you put it now? In the deep blue sea, the outer darkness and the deep blue sea. Let me put it that way. You know, it's a critical decision. You have to free him because keeping him is dangerous, and freeing him is terrible because just like what Christ, the devil must destroy him, the devil must kill him, or leave him to be alive. When he is alive, he is causing havoc in the kingdom of darkness. When he was now killed, he now destroyed the kingdom of darkness finally. So freeing MAZI NNAMDI KANU is now what they have done to him now is like killing him. And now he's coming up, he's coming out, bouncing back strongly. And I want to encourage all of you, you might have missed it one way or the other. You might have fallen one way or the other. You might have followed wrong people one way or the other. But the truth here is, you have to come back strongly like Peter and say, Lord, forgive me. I am coming back. MAZI NNAMDI KANU, forgive me. But the truth here is, there must be a proof and evidence that you actually were not intending, or you were not actually intentionally doing the evils you are doing. Those of you who have wasted your money given to the wrong people, funding their militia groups so that they will be relevant in Biafra land. Somebody like Simon, who was funding his militia group to be relevant. You have to think of coming back and bouncing back, because all the signs were there to make you understand that these people like Simon and others were actually cashing into MAZI NNAMDI KANU's situation for their own greedy and selfish ends. But you didn't see the signs, because no genuine person would come and say they are helping someone to fight, and they would now come and ban the person's group, come to tell you that IPOB is banned. And they bring in the sentiment of IPOB Nigeria. What is IPOB Nigeria? Do you hear MAZI NNAMDI KANU say IPOB Nigeria? IPOB is IPOB anywhere in the world. And what is keeping MAZI NNAMDI KANU is in detention is on the premise of IPOB. It's the faculty of the IPOB, the ideology of IPOB. That's what is keeping MAZI NNAMDI KANU there. And the one who said he's fighting for MAZI NNAMDI KANU is now fighting against what is keeping MAZI NNAMDI KANU in detention. You don't know that it's IPOB that is keeping MAZI NNAMDI KANU in detention, because MAZI NNAMDI KANU is the leader of IPOB, and they have branded IPOB terrorist group illegally. And so they're using that to keep MAZI NNAMDI KANU there. If MAZI NNAMDI KANU wanted IPOB to be banned, the name to be eradicated, as soon as Simon did that, he would have also told that lie, or he would have mentioned it also. But he still talks about IPOB. He still says nobody used IPOB or his name for any criminal thing. But some other people are telling you that the IPOB is gone. That means you are saying MAZI NNAMDI KANU is gone. They thought MAZI NNAMDI KANU will be killed, but he's not killed, he's here. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to be live tomorrow again, by God's grace. This time around, I'm going to be talking more deeper things, deeper things about MAZI NNAMDI KANU's detention and the court details, and then deeper things about those of them who actually betrayed MAZI NNAMDI KANU and what is happening to them right now. What is actually happening to them right now. I'm going to be doing this tomorrow evening, hopefully, from 5 p.m. Biafra time. I'll be doing this from 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Biafra time. I think 6 p.m. Biafra time will be good for me. I'll be here. So I want to appreciate you, Evelyn. Sorry if I, insulted you. I don't want to be doing all those insult things. Rather than, being on point and talking about points, we want to insult other people because we don't have how to. It is those who don't know, who don't have the gospel of truth that insult people. Those who cannot defend themselves in the light of truth. That means what they are saying is indefensible. So they look for insults and all threats to silence other people. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. My name is Kelechi Ambrose. Please stay blessed. Today is the second day of May, and of course today is Saturday, and I am right here in my location and saying to you, God bless you very good and stay blessed. Tomorrow again, we continue. Thank you so much. Please share this on all your social media platforms. Let people listen to it, and also let us all stand in unity and get our nation restored. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all.